PCspacegoon here, and welcome to another video. Today we are going to go over a couple of abilities that are both weird in the way the game chooses to let you know a unit has them, and in how you find out what kind of buff you are actually receiving. These two abilities are Aquatic and Forest Strider. Let's start with how to find out if your unit has these abilities in the first place. Normally, you would look down in the abilities section of the unit card and mouse over whatever is down there to figure out what kind of spells or abilities your unit has. This is not the case here. The only place on the unit card where you can find out if a unit has these particular abilities is in the non-specific green text portion at the top of the card. But even if you do figure out that these are real abilities with an effect on the battlefield, what is that effect? When you mouse over the green text, you get a hand wave as a tooltip about either being better in the water or in the forest. Not particularly helpful. So, like we do around here, let's go check it out. First off, we'll be taking a look at Aquatic. Any unit labeled as small, or what at a glance you would think of as infantry, will have a disadvantage in shallow water. If you are unsure if something is considered to be shallow water, you can find out by mousing over it, and a marsh symbol will appear next to your cursor. If your unit has the aquatic ability though, not only will it negate any disadvantage, but they will also gain a bonus, making them more effective in this environment. You can see specifically what this is by clicking on your aquatic unit and mousing over any shallow water on the battle map. By doing this, you will find that these skinks are getting a plus 20% melee attack and plus 20% melee defense buff. This works out to be a free plus 4 melee attack and plus 4.8 melee defense, just for standing in shallow water. Not huge, but hey, it's free stats. This can be made more significant though, if both you and your enemy are small-sized units, as they will be getting a constant debuff, and you will be receiving a constant buff while you're both standing in shallow water. Next up, we have Forest Strider, not to be confused with the other ability, just known as Strider. Similar names, functionally different. Forest Strider, like Aquatic, gives you an advantage when fighting in the appropriate terrain. And as you may have guessed, this time, it is a forest. Just like with Aquatic, if you want to find out what kind of buffs you are receiving, you need to click on a unit with the Forest Strider ability, and mouse over a spot on the battle map where the forest symbol appears next to your cursor. Once that is done, you can see that these white lions, when they are in the trees, will be receiving a bonus 10% melee attack and 20% melee defense. This equates to a plus 3.6 melee attack and a plus 5.6 melee defense overall. So once again, if you want to get the most out of these units, you should try to stick to the wood line if possible for the free buffs. The clear disadvantage to either of these abilities is the fact that they are terrain dependent, and you will need to convince your enemy to fight in those places if you want to get your buffs. Also, in the case of Aquatic, many maps just do not have shallow water to take advantage of, even if you wanted to. Thankfully for Forest Strider, trees are sometimes, annoyingly, a lot more prevalent. Well, there you go. Pretty simple, really, just incredibly obfuscated. Maybe one day they'll make it more obvious, but today, at least at the time of the making of this, is not that day. Before I go though, if you like what I do and want to see more of me, be sure to come over and check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/PCspacegoon. And as always, I'll see you on the battlefield.